Listen here, girl. I know you think it's a game, but it is absolutely not. Okay, this is the energy supplement from Just Move Supplements. That's right. It's damn near all gone, girl, and that's because I had to get that energy up so I can complete the workout, so I can give y'all this body, this transformation, get into it. Okay, and I'm done working out now, so that's why we're moving on to the protein shake. Oh yes, it's already in there, girl. It's already made right here. This is the mixture of the banana pudding, the chocolate cake, and the buttercream cupcake. And you really want to be fancy, you can go ahead and add that blueberry muffin if that's what you want to do, girl. But for me, it's these three right here. Okay, you put that with some almond milk, you mix it all up in honey. Okay, your muscles have gained life, new energy, agility. Get into it, okay? Just Move Supplements. Thank you very much. Hold up, Chief. Okay, don't forget about that TLC NutriBurst to get that multivitamin popping, because we all need a little extra. And child, if you want that sea moss that go down smooth, don't come up rough, okay? Get into the TLC Nautica sea moss. Yes, get that from me. And child, if your stomach hurt and you need to move some things around so you can be free, okay, go ahead and get that ISO tea down below in the description box. Get it all from me. Come on in, come on in, come on in, not come on in, not come. Sorry, y'all know I'm weird, whatever.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. So let's go ahead. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. Okay, follow me on Instagram and let's get into the video, right?
That's right, everybody, I'm back. What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing on this good Tuesday? Everybody back at work after the Labor Day weekend, baby. I hope you made it. I hope you're all right out there. Okay. I came back so I could give y'all part 2. Okay, part 2, if you will, of my breakdown of Dr. Cheyenne Bryant and Cam Newton. Okay. Now listen. It's a lot of conversation on this video, girl. Keep it cute in the comments. All right. Don't get blocked. That's what we're going to start with. Okay. We need some respect in the comments. Okay. So everybody just be cool. Everybody be cool by the pool, fool. Okay. Now, don't forget, Reset by Design Wellness is going to Bali next year. Okay. This was our Phuket, Thailand trip just this past June. Girl, it was an amazing trip. We had a great time, okay? Child, we was on boats, all right? We was at luxury villas. It was very much given top notch. Everything was pre-planned for us, okay? We just paid and showed up, girl. That's all we did, all right? We had a great time, and y'all need to get y'all some of this, okay? Because we also went to Ghana, girl, okay? And that was a great trip for us as well. Listen, we're a clique. We're a group. We're girlfriends. Okay. And not the gay kind. For those of y'all with jokes and shit. So go to resetbydesignwellness.com to sign up for the trips. And also follow Reset by Design Wellness on Instagram if you're trying to, become part of the clique. You know what I'm saying? You follow on Instagram. You see more of what we had going on. You see more of the trip. Sliced up in little pieces for everybody. I share them on my Instagram as well. Follow me because I'm a red hot pimp. At BondyBlue on Instagram, at Blue Rose Bondy, because the original took my page. They took my original page. It's very disrespectful. It's very, very disrespectful when y'all come and take people pages talking about they was pretending to be somebody else or doing some fake fugazi scammery when they were not. I am me. I am she. She is I. I don't know what you're talking about. Had that page for I don't know how long. Okay. All of a sudden, boom, by power, they take it from me. And every time I try to go to the link so I can appeal it, it gives me a corrupted page to go to. So I can't even put my stuff in. They want me to pay. I'm not paying. I'm not doing it. Okay. Either way, I'm happy everybody's here. It's 326 of y'all in here. Applause. The numbers are going up. I'm trying to give y'all a chance to come into the room. Okay. I had a really good weekend, y'all. I am going to do a members only live today as well. That will be
another BondyBlue show, just different subjects, because there was no Love and Marriage Huntsville this weekend. And I don't understand why. I was like, why would y'all take another break? Y'all had just came back from a break when we got that episode, and then y'all took another break. Girl, make it make sense for me. How many breaks do y'all need? I know you shooting them people for their God. Anyway, I'm glad that y'all enjoyed the first part to this. And without any further ado, we're going to jump right back into it.
Chose my ex-fiancés based on, I hope he's a hybrid like myself. He's daddy and I love him. And I'm choosing from a place of being healed now. So I'm choosing what I know that I want long-term and not need for the season that my pain is in. See, I chose my ex-fiancés based on what the abandoned young woman needed in that season. I had no idea what I wanted. Healing introduces you to what you want. Pain and trauma eclipse what you want. It's always there, eclipse that. So as a woman now, do I want a man who is high functioning and high value and all those things? I mean, that would be great. But if I met a man who had what I wanted, not because I don't need it, but what I wanted, what I treat him any
daddy, because you got daddy issues. Daddy, because in some way you pedestalize, you know, a man in a household. You romanticize that image because in some ways you did not have it. Or whatever version of it you may have had wasn't exactly right. So you have Cliff Huxtable this shit, you know what I'm saying? You view it from a certain standpoint, like that's a turn on, you know. A man is a father and he's getting a household and he's taking care of responsibilities and ooh, you know what I'm saying? So that's a turn on for me. So now I'm gonna be calling men that I'm laying down with, I'm gonna be calling them daddy to make them feel like they're on that, you know, that level, you know what I'm saying? And I just kind of feel like, ew, I don't want to think about that. That's nasty. But I'm going to let her continue. Because see what she's doing in this moment, and I love this, is she's using her sex appeal and what she knows men like to hear from women like herself in order to continue to disarm him, but also drive home even more. I know you want me. And I know you over there mad in your little head because you can't have me. Because you would love to add me to your list of women. But I bet you big golly, wow, you can't have me, nigga. That's what it's giving. That's what it's giving. And I love that for her. I love that for her. I'm sorry. Like, as a woman, whenever men you know are in competition with you unnecessarily, they're trying to best you in some way. And you know, deep down, it comes from a space of wanting you and they cannot have you. Tickles your spirit. Just a tickle of the spirit.
different than a man who's a billionaire, I'm going to treat him better because it's not because I have money and I don't need the money. I'm saying that when you think of longevity, okay, this is the problem. People are picking for the season. I'm not, but I'm 35 and I'm in my prime and I want to live a certain quality of life and I want to go on trips. That's what you want at 35, baby. But you ain't made it to 50 or 60 yet. And this is where what you were saying as far as you have wise counsel around you. You got women like your mama who would say, baby, listen, you might choose him at 35, but that man ain't going to be
with him at 55.
Hello.
Using his words to validate her points. Once again, snaps to the Dr. Cheyenne.
Goodbye. So my thing is, a healed woman or man, we're choosing now for 55, 60, and 70, and 80. I'm choosing now the father for my kids. I'm not getting pregnant and then going, Cam, so you don't change diapers? These are conversations. These are foreplay conversations to me when I'm dating you. It's, so how do you feel about kids? What religion do you feel our kids should be? Do you think private school or this?
Just drop the big bag on private school.
But for me, that's what I'm saying. The functionality does matter. For me, these conversations are foreplay.
Yeah.
So do you believe in discipline? Are you going to get mad if our kids have a black mom in the house and I say, get your ass off the couch? Is that a problem with you because you cursed at my kid? See, this is foreplay for me. So when I say conversations that are high functioning look like that for me, if this is feeding me and we end up married, that means you've already fed me enough where I believe you can take me to 50, 60. Not you can take my 41-year-old self to freaking Paris and buy me a Birkin and I can shine for the season. And then in your words, it runs its course. If I'm choosing for today, whatever our intention is what manifests. If I'm choosing for a meal ticket or if I'm looking for you to have an investment baby with, because that happens too, let's keep it 100.
A lot.
Okay. So then once we get together and I'm left as a single mama, knowing my intent was to get pregnant anyways, why am I gaslighting you? When I knew my intent was to come in, I didn't tell you my intent. But I knew what my intent was. I'm trying to get the bag. So we only last in my intention, not yours. My intention runs its course. I get the baby, I get the bag, and you're not there. Now I'm going, Cam's horrible. He ain't no good father. I'm just saying from that situation.
I can't relate. Let's just change that name because like
that's fine.
Going.
But what I'm trying to explain is
I can't relate. You can't?
Course,
yes, ma'am.
Right? And so for women who are choosing from a place of being healthy, we're choosing from what we want. And what we want, not just for today, what we want long-term in a partner. And again, your trauma will always choose what it needs to be fed now, which means your ego says, I need the limelight, so I'm gonna choose him for that. I need the trips. I need whatever I never had. I need to not feel abandoned right now. And this Cam's giving me the attention for my abandonment to feel cushioned. Let me choose that. And then what happens is I choose it once, it becomes a cycle. Women get comfortable in the dysfunction, which was already what I was choosing from in the first place. And so I'm going to go ahead and just nest in dysfunction, knowing that I can't get nowhere in this. Because whether dysfunction runs its course or it keeps running its course, either way, it's unhealthy.
See, this is where, and we got to keep moving forward.
Yeah. And she's talking about you and Jazzy.
But I would say this, to that point that you just made, I think men find or should find a lot of value in resumes of women to say, you mean to tell me you don't got nobody that your parents ain't, your auntie ain't, your closest friend, she ain't in a relationship? Okay, cool. But also as a woman, I'm about to procreate with a man. He already got multiple kids that he's not taking care of. Where's the accountability? So you are literally saying, I'm going to be the difference maker in this situation.
And how?
Girl, Jazzy, I'm praying for her. Girl, I am praying for the woman that is in the relationship with him. Because do you see how angry he is? The way he has a disgust with the way he is talking about a woman that would try so hard to make something happen that's not going to happen. He almost sounds as if that is disgusting to him, that a woman would be in a relationship with a man, giving and giving and giving and giving, thinking she's going to get a different outcome because her booty hole is different than the last one's. Jazzy really thinks she's about to hustle and soft talk her way into being what Cam is going to be able to look at and say, she loves me. Girl, I need to rewind that. Look at that.
But I would say this, to that point that you just made, I think men find or should find a lot of value in resumes of women to say, you mean to tell me you don't got nobody that your parents ain't, your auntie ain't, your closest friend, she ain't in a relationship? Okay, cool. But also as a woman,
so that first part is shade to Dr. Bryant because he continues to try to discredit her, right? You didn't have a 2-parent household, so you can't give advice on this. He just keeps going back to that point. I don't know if y'all are listening. He keeps going back to that point. Go watch the first part over again. He says the same things over and over and over again in a different way.
I'm about to procreate with a man. He already got multiple kids that he's not taking care of. Where's the accountability? So you are literally saying, I'm going to be the difference maker in this.
I'm going to be the difference maker. Now, see, Cam views himself as different because he takes care of his kids. His kids are in the household with him. Does not change the fact that you show disgust for the woman that thinks she's going to be the change maker. So when he's over there putting you through unnecessary pain that you feel like is an act of love, recognize that that is him terrorizing you intentionally.
Situation.
And how often does that happen?
A lot.
No, how often does that person become the difference maker?
No,
none. It almost never happens.
So I will move this discussion right along. Curious to know, have you ever dated outside your race?
Bonus children.
I have.
Okay.
Out here with her bonus
could you,
children.
For the people in the audience who's watching this or will watch this, could you date outside your race?
I could.
Okay. Now, is that something that, are you open in regards to manifestation? Listen, God, just bring him to me. I mean, good hair, nappy hair. I mean, European hair, Wakanda hair. It don't matter. I need my hubby.
Dominican hair. Yes, I am very obedient to God's will first. And God has the permission to override any silly decisions I make, okay, to bring me his will. However, and I'm open to dating outside my race.
Right.
if I can have it my way, right? And it's something that I'm choosing from. I love my Black men, and so I wouldn't be choosing outside of my race. How can I say it? Because Black men weren't my priority. It would be, again, an organic, it happened. This man happens to be long-term meeting wants. And this is just what, in my spirit, God says, this is what I have for you. And him too he'd be the king. He would be daddy. He'd be all that, regardless if he came Wakanda hair and long as he have a Wakanda. Okay, anyways. But what I was saying was, I'm back. We talking about my husband. I had to manifest him the right way.
Yeah, you did.
The right way, ladies.
Yeah, you did.
Doc is back. But I would definitely date outside my race. Yes.
So does race matter in regards to finding love?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
So
not love.
You know Wakanda only come in Wakanda packages.
Have you been to Africa?
I'm from Africa.
Have you traveled to Africa?
I'm in Atlanta, baby. This is Africa.
So have you traveled to Africa?
Not the
continent.
This is how you know having money means nothing. Cam Newton is worth around what? $70 million? He might, you know what I'm saying? Like millions and millions and millions. Probably enough. He does very well for himself, and he has never been to Africa, the continent. He's never been. Like, to me, this is like the perfect example of how you are really if we really talking about value altogether, like the overall value of a person, not just their monetary value, but their value mentally. Dude, you are regressed. I don't know what y'all are doing over there, but I feel like for you to feel like you are from Africa and Atlanta is Africa and you worth $75 million. Thank you, Erica. Hey, love. You would have taken you and all of your tribe of children to Africa to experience something that a rich father would give his children to experience, like traveling, a difference in perspective, knowing it's a continent and not a country. Are you only going to the Caribbean with women to have sex? Are you not taking the children on vacations? What's happening? Are we only going to Florida? What's going on? And then, yes, I saw somebody mention his other baby mama. I believe that I could be wrong, but I think this is the young woman that he took the car from. Very beautiful, soft-spoken young woman that had 5 children, I believe, 4 for him, and 1 before she met him, was with him for what? 13 years or something, 12 years or something like that. He never married her. She just started her YouTube channel. She says they have a week on and a week off. I need for y'all to understand that not every father that has his children week on and week off is actually doing something for those children during that week, except for taking them to football practice. Jazzy is over there cooking and cleaning and making sure the children have done their homework and gone to bed. Probably the only one in the household spending time with his daughters. That's why she's the one that helps him be better with his daughters, is because she is playing that role while in the household. He does not want a wife, but he wants somebody to play that role for the week on that he has his children. And please understand, the only reason he's doing week on, week off is not because he really wants to spend that time with those children. It's because he doesn't want to have to pay too much money in child support to their mother. The stingy, you were $75 million and you stingy as hell, and you haven't even taken your children to the continent of Africa for a vacation so that they can see something. What do you have money for? What does he have money for? I don't understand. Yet one of his BMs is white. The one white is the side baby. Oh, so he had a white side baby, but he's about to sit up here and use Dr. Bryant and her openness to date outside of her race as a detriment. Aha. He keeps doing that with the two-parent household thing. Because essentially, sir, you having a mother and father in a household did not make you a better man to anybody. What are you talking about? You are still going around having unprotected sex with women, creating children with women, using your money and your ego to terrorize them, I'm sure. Y'all have to listen. The way he talks about his children, I feel like he's definitely not the dad that is emotionally safe for his children. Men who secure their children in sports and in their education, that is great, but that's also an extension of how successful they are as a parent on paper. If their children are doing well in sports or in school in some capacity, something that can look good on paper, that makes them look like a good father on paper. But in that household, do those children feel emotionally safe with him, or do they only see him as a disciplinarian? Conversations. Conversations.
No.
Okay, so.
Or the continent, I apologize.
Yeah, no problem. So you were saying, you know, it may be challenging for a single woman to counsel married people. Well, I've traveled to Africa. So maybe hard for a man who has not traveled to Africa to say that in Africa, you only see one kind of
watch where you're going now.
Race of men, okay?
You're stepping in some quicksand if we want to go down that road.
Whatever you want to do. I'm just saying that love has no color, but also when you're talking about what kind of size, I don't believe that only one race of a species has a certain what kind of size. Now, I don't want to go deep into talking about penises for 15 minutes because I don't think that's what will help. Remember, my purpose is I want to do my job and I want to give the audience things that can change lives and I want to entertain. But I don't think a big penis has to do with one race of men. But if you want to go there real quick and touch it, go for it.
No.
Have you dated a white guy?
Never.
Okay. So you don't know.
I've never dated a guy.
You would not know.
I've never dated a guy.
Right. Okay. So for a woman who has dated.
Let's just put that out there.
Okay, so that means do not presume to know that Black men are the only men with sizable penises. Anybody that has watched porn should know that white men can also have sizable penises. And also, some of y'all have them and don't know what to do with them. Y'all think just jugging in there any old kind of way is you doing a good job. And she over there screaming in fucking agony. But you gonna act like it's pleasure because that's what feeds your ego. Boy, bye.
Dated. I've never been intimate with a man outside of Black, but dating a white guy, I can say that there's a difference in cultural experiences. Yeah. But I don't think I haven't seen, but I haven't been intimate with a white man. But I mean, I haven't seen things. I don't think there's a big difference to me in white or Black when it comes to your penis.
This is my point that I was saying, and we're kind of taking a step back to Euro steps to try to score.
Right.
Now, I'm having a hard time to believe a very educated, a very attractive woman out of 41 years have not met Mr. Right. Mm-hmm. That's
why?
That's enough time to find.
Why? No, it's not. No, it's not. Have y'all met y'all? Have you met y'all? Have you met y'all, Cam? Have you met you? Let me tell y'all something. Any woman that is securing her own well-being and living in her own comfort, as we get in, this is 2024. It's not 1970. It's not 1980. It is way more likely to find older, more settled, comfortable women without men. What are you talking about? And sometimes some of those women are divorcees. Some of those women have already done it, have the t-shirt, the bag to match, and they're all right. They don't have to go back down that road. I feel like what a lot of men don't understand, which is crazy, is that when women get older, they want to play with y'all the way y'all play with women when y'all are younger. When men are young, they feel like, oh, we can just go around. I can play on, I can just do this. I can have this. I can have that. I can have that because I'm young and I'm virile. But then as you get older and you realize that your health is declining, what you want a woman for starts to change. At first, you wanted a woman for sex, for validation, to have fun, what have you. When you get older now, listen, Judge Mathis, now you want a woman to take care of you. Now you want a woman that is going to wipe your ass. Now you want a woman that is going to be there holding your hand while you die, because usually women outlive men, just usually, on average. Okay? And so, Now that your need has changed, you now are trying to find one woman to do that, or, fewer women to do that, because there's not as many women out there that you can trust to take care of you like that. So now you don't want a whole bunch of women. Women, on the other hand, have been taught that they should be looking for one person from the very beginning. So at the beginning, they start looking for the one person and realize they're not going to find them. And then you go through them and go through them. By the time you get to about 30, 35, if you have not already done this shit and you already taken care of yourself, it is harder to find someone who you can match with that's not going to stress you the fuck out. A lot of the older single women that I know have very high standards. They live very comfortable, nice lives. And a lot of the time they would have to deal with bullshit that they don't have to deal with when they're alone. They can have y'all and then send y'all on y'all way. And men are always looking for somebody to take care of them. It's so funny to me. Like, men actually get, mad about that, but it's everybody just switches. When the women are younger, they're looking for somebody to take care of them. But once they start taking care of themselves, that's over. Because what they recognize is what comes with that is having to be responsible for you like a kid on some level. And that's exhausting. That's exhausting. Not all of y'all are showing up, you know what I'm saying, capable in all of the ways. It's exhausting. Okay.
And a lot of things out.
I bet.
And yet,
Mhm.
no kids,
Mhm.
single.
Mhm.
I'm not, but I am saying,
Mhm.
are women's expectations unrealistic?
No, I'm gonna say, like I said on Nick, the question shouldn't be why isn't a woman of age, of success, of a certain caliber not married with kids? The question should be why are people rushing to the altar just to become divorcees or baby mamas and baby daddies?
Mhm.
I think if anything, we need to be teaching our society, take your time, young man or young woman, so that you can get to know not just this person, but yourself first, so that you can choose a life partner, not that that person isn't exempt to divorce, instead of rushing to the altar just to become a divorcee or a baby mama and have multiple kids by multiple women, just to say you have broken families everywhere.
Mhm.
I don't see no benefit in
he can't keep still. She's slinging him. Bow, bow, bow.
that. I believe, like I tell my brother, he's in here, Shane, all the time, and who's 31 with no kids and doing well for himself. Take your time. You don't need to rush to an altar just to divorce this woman. And another thing is people who actually feel high valued within themselves, not financially, internally they feel high valued. They're not rushing to have a wife or a husband at the expense of divorce just to feel like they've added value to themselves. Because it's a deficit if you're marrying for the wrong purposes. It is an asset if you're marrying from a place of creating a family, of creating stability, of raising kids who can see this thing move and this house not be homeless, but this house have wealth in it, the real wealth that actually sustains. And so for me, I'd rather take my time choosing than end up doing time because I'm making wrong decisions. I'm good.
Say less. Next question.
Him saying less is also very, like, his tone of say less. Next question, as if everything she said meant nothing. Like, everything she said, nobody cares. Like, look at the look on his face. She's a child. He is a child. And y'all really think that Jazzy is having a good time at dinner having conversations with this nigga? Girl, it's giving
How young are you
exhausting.
willing to go?
Ooh, I love that. See, now this is when the conversation gets good.
Come on now. We want to know that.
I'm gonna.
Because, like, look, I told you now.
Listen.
Look.
Hold on.
Come on.
What?
Because
You going or I'm going? Who going first?
you. I
Okay.
mean, yeah.
So I'm willing to. I think, late 20s.
Men, this is where you turn the TV all the way up. Go ahead.
Late 20s would be the youngest. However,
we got to put a number on that though. Like you 27, 26.
27-ish.
X's.
Mhm. But
Okay.
again, it depends on the maturity level of that man.
Yeah.
But this is where I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
But
I
this
knew.
is where
I baited you. I knew where we were going.
your patience has
Be there.
to give him the
100%.
patience to bring his value
Yeah.
up, or his function up to his
100%. 100%.
Right.
100%.
But
100%.
so now
100%.
100%
Yeah.
is too.
100%.
A woman who has high value
Mhm.
will not entertain or be patient with a guy that does not have.
That's not necessarily true. Why does he keep going back? Do y'all see the crazy look on his face to try to prove that men who don't have a lot of money, or men that are, needing women to help them along, that women don't do that? It's almost like you really want to act like no women are out there raising men up. And I feel like that's insane that you would even say that. I think that's insane that you would even say that. Like the entire thing when it comes to like getting in relationships with men, a lot of women understand what you're going to do when you go over to his house. In 2024, you might find these men that have their own places well decorated. You know what I'm saying? They artsy dudes. You know what I'm saying? They got record players and plants and shit. They work out. You know what I'm saying? They got their protein shakes. You might find those dudes out there. And they might be chill as fuck. They might have go to therapy, do yoga and all of that. I think there are dudes out there that are like that. But a lot of those dudes do not want to be married. They want to have their experiences as they have them and move along in their life. Okay? So it's very hard a lot of the times to find men that have a sense of self about themselves that does not require a woman to come in and nurture them to a space. But most of you everyday men, and I feel like Cam, in mentality wise, is an everyday man. That's why, you know what I mean? Like, that's why he thinks his money elevates him so much, because a lot of broke men have that same mentality. You really think that money is going to make you better than you are. And no, to women that no longer require that of you. And that's what y'all act like y'all want. Y'all act like y'all want women that don't really need your money, but that's exactly what you want. And then you act like we're the confusing ones. No, you want somebody to need you, but then you also don't want to have to do what it's required for somebody to need you. And that's the weird part. That's the weird part, Cam. You don't want to be like a nice guy that does emotional labor in some type of way so that Jazzy will really love you and be with you regardless of what you have. You know what I'm saying? Because he goes back and forth between placing value on what women offer and then not placing any value on it because it's not money. Like, I will never be in love because a woman is not going to do anything for me that's, because of anything other than my money, basically. That's how he feels. And also, she can't offer me anything anyway because I have money. So anything I want her to do, I can pay somebody to do. So that means that she's of no real value to me, which is cap. It's complete and utter cap. Because if you could do that, then you would just have your women coming in and out and you would be paying a maid service, a cleaning service, a chef. But that's not what you're doing. You got Jazzy over there doing that for you. And it feels like she may not be getting paid as much as she should be getting paid because she's also doing other shit that the maid and the chef shouldn't have to do, which is you.
Yeah, especially if she has certain
100%.
100%. She will. Especially if she has certain especially if she has certain criterions that she knows most men of her age won't meet. Yes, she has to.
So therefore, I'm telling you, a man of high value is a transactional type of thing. So to your point, it's like, I know, I look at you, I look at women all the time. I have a beautiful establishment that we're in right now, Fellowship. It garners a consumer that's about their business. Mm-hmm. This is not hookah smoking and standing on couches and,
look at you trying to elevate yourself based off an image of a set. Look at you trying to base your image when everything we have heard you say shows that you are low value. You can say whatever the hell you want to about how much money you have. But the fact that you want to judge the women that are dancing and drinking hookah and all of that, as if those women don't have a health about themselves in some respect, while you're over here on your set acting like this is an extension of your own prestige. Like, sir, you haven't even traveled outside. Child, have you traveled outside the Caribbean? Look at him. Money really gives y'all an inflated sense of self, the way it makes you feel like you are all of a sudden intellectual when you are not. You're not.
This is sugar daddy's addy in here. This is businesswoman. No, you need to we need to get this on. I see it happen so many times.
Wow.
Dress
you
code.
Are
You're not
a
coming here
sugar
with
daddy.
flip-flops. Like you can't do that. You can't disrespect the altitude.
Yeah, the culture of what's here.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
with that, I know and I understand a lot of people see my situation and I think that I'm not high functioning.
What situation?
See my situation. That's a very vague.
No. You the one that said, see my situation. And she said, what do you mean? That's not a vague question. What you mean is the fact that you have done what the Pookies and the Ray Rays, the brokers have done, gone around having children with women and leaving them and going on to the next one and creating children with those women. And we're not talking about, you know what I'm saying, just one. Like he got chicks, Jazzy's got one. I think another one might have one, but he got a lady that's got like 4 kids for him. It's 3 baby mamas and one of them has 4 kids for this man. And he wouldn't even let her keep a car.
Question, and this for you.
What situation are you referring to that they're looking at and thinking is not high function?
Just my life.
His money was doing
your life
nothing.
entirely, or your life in
my
relationships?
My life.
See, don't deflect. Let's stay here. Your life entirely, or your life in relationships?
Both, really.
And they think that you're low functioning.
No, I don't.
You just said people see your life and think you're not high functioning. The opposite of that would be low functioning.
No. Okay, so here you go. You're trying to take my intentions away from this. Is
see, and this is the thing. This is how you know you're not intelligent, because she's literally going off of exactly what you're saying, but because she's saying it back to you plainly in a way that has no manipulation coded on it, you're trying to act as if that's not what you meant, and she's taking your words and twisting them. No, sir. You're giving us twisted words and she's untwisting them and you're upset about it. Him and his damn hat.
Can I correct it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Or can I give you more
information?
So I'm not married, right? I have beautiful children.
How many?
8.
I didn't do my research. I thought it was 4, but 8. Okay.
No, baby.
Cool.
It's
by how
8.
many women?
3.
Because she only knew about the one woman.
I want more. Now.
By multiple women? What's the intent?
I just want God
about your wife?
I just want God to bring him.
Oh, okay. And you have, so you just.
Because my point is this. My desire to get married is lower than my fear of divorce. So, as you had said, Dr. Bryant, you said it. I didn't say it. I will agree. I'm just taking my time.
You're not taking your time.
I'm sorry, y'all. This is all anybody should ever think of when they think of Cam.
I'm just your dildo. That's all I can be. I ain't even charge you. Let you fuck me for free.
Excuse me? The way he thinks he said something?
Girl, we ain't going steady. I thought you know me.
Let me tell you something. He just must have made a lot of money in football and he knows how to hustle. He knows how to get branding deals. That's all I can really say for the man. He know how to play football and he know how to count and make money, because that's all I see. Because the fact that he just thought he said something smart right there, sir, you are telling us that you don't want marriage. You saying that you don't fear divorce as much as you want. All you saying just then is you do not want to get married. You don't want to get married. You wish that we lived in a polygamous society where you could have all of these women and legitimize them in some way while also having the access to all of them. Like, this is what you wish. Like, you wish you could just have a house here, house here, house here, and you could just go and do whatever you wanted to do and still have those women where they have your children. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do feel that he's just an egomaniac. Like, it's all about him. Even when it comes to the children, it's only an extension of his own image. That's all he cares about. And it's crazy to me for him to sit here in this moment and act like he's taking his time. This is the moment that goes viral, because it's insane for you to say that you're taking your time after you went so far as to say 8 kids to us, as if that's not embarrassing for a man coming from a 2-parent household to say that you have 8 children by 3 different women and you're in no rush to get married. And I don't even feel like he should get married. Y'all, please understand me. I'm not Dr. Bryant. I don't feel like marriage is an end all be all graduation of relationships and shit like y'all think it is. I think in this society, is it incentivized in order to make you feel that way? But when it actually boils down to it, when you actually being real about how people spiritualize and romanticize marriage, it's really not that deep. Okay? It's not. The only thing it does is legitimizes the relationship in society. That's all it does. And for a lot of people, being legitimized amongst a whole bunch of fucking strangers matters more to them than what it's actually like to be in that union with someone. Please understand me, because y'all misunderstand me when I say this. A marriage is only as valuable as the two people in it. That's it, y'all. It's only as valuable as the two people in it feel about it. It is not pedestalized the way y'all feel like it really is. I know y'all feel that way, but I want you to only feel that way if it's something you are experiencing with another person. Do not put that shit on a pedestal simply because you've seen other people do it, because a Bible told you to do it. You could not agree. I don't care. This is what it is. This is what it is. You put value in something that does not put value in you, you get played. But do your thing.
I am, though.
You're being very action-based. You're not taking your time. You're being very action-based.
I'm taking my time.
You're being very action-based. You have 8 kids with 3 different women.
Yes.
You are creating, procreating, and multiplying. That is not taking your time. You're being very selectively active. Okay? So you're creating, and disclaimer, the kids are innocent. They are beautiful and amazing. Anything I say has nothing to do with them babies, because I can't wait to be a mom, and I love the kids, period. But you are proactively choosing where you want to be active at and where you want to take your time. You want to take your time in having a wife because of your own fears. But you will, and I say this with all respect and love, what I'm about to say next, okay, Cam?
Before she does it, y'all gotta like the video.
But you will selfishly create broken families, even if you're in their life and you're a proactive father. And I believe you're an amazing daddy. I can only imagine with just your presence and knowing you thus far. But these families are still broken. Every child cannot have Papa in the house with them. So some child, if not all, will end up with some kind of deficit without daddy being there. Now, you chose to do that. I'm not saying you sat there and woke up one morning and said, I want to be selfish today, so I'm going to go make a baby. Not saying that at all. But those are selfish acts at the expense of your fear. So at what point do you feel the fear? Do it anyways. And yeah, that is a low functioning behavior. To say that I am going to create these homes. Oh, let me go better. I'm going to build these houses and put kids and these beautiful women and kids in them, but I ain't going to create a home. And then I'm going to wait till I dissipate my fear to find a wife where I'm still going to be fearful with, because there's no such thing as not having some type of nerve or some type of feeling behind marrying somebody who you're spending your life with. And then I'm going to build a home with her while all these other beautiful babies have houses. That's completely unfair and it's selfish.
Just everyone like us all.
Yeah, almost. That's completely unfair and that's selfish. And so, yes, you're taking your time in this department, but you're not taking your time in this department, which means you're compartmentalizing. And compartmentalizing never works. Compartmentalizing hurts everybody involved. Everybody who's in this box and that box and this box and that box and this box. And then here you go over here trying to figure out what box you're going to feed or entertain or do. Then you're looking outside to figure out who's your next victim to put in the box. It's unhealthy. And it's a huge dysfunction within our Black community that I truly believe personally, statistically, mental health wise, and community wise, that Black men will stop.
Black men.
It's not just Black men. Please understand, white men do this too. They may not do this at the same rate, but the men do this, okay? You know why they do this? Because essentially you tire one family out, you get bored of one, and then you move on to the next. That's how a lot of men, especially men with money, feel. Now, men that don't have that, the comfortability of being in a household with a woman that's going to keep doing everything for you that you want her to do, and you can go outside of it and do whatever you want, you will keep the same woman. Honestly, I wonder if Cam's ex left him and not the other way around, which means he probably would have stayed with that woman, never married her, cheated on her, had babies outside of their relationship, and just kept her in the household as his, as his main, whatever you want to call.
And with what?
Stop doing that. That they would stop that dysfunctional behavior of compartmentalizing and creating houses not homes,
Mhm.
and then finally a home with the wife. And then you have all these other houses that are homeless. But you over here at some point when you do get a wife, if you do, I'm saying if that's what you want, you will. You get whatever you want. You're trying to create a home. Totally dysfunctional and extremely, that's the epitome of selfish. Epitome of selfish. I'm done. You can go first.
Okay, say less. All right, so
say less. Again,
what identifies
disrespectful.
as a broken home?
What you have going on with these, whoever you're not in the house with is a broken home. It's called a blended family. It's called a blended family.
That means.
And see, I don't agree with that. I don't agree that a broken home is a blended family. I don't. What he has is a blended family. It's broken, but not because they're not together. And I know that we've discussed this, the definition of broken family, but I feel like the definition is a judgment and comes from people placing judgment on families that don't look the same way. If they don't look like this, it's broke. When the truth of the matter is, it can look exactly the way everybody thinks it's supposed to look and still be broken. That is the point, which I feel like discredits the idea that simply a home without a father or a mother, whatever, means that a home is broken. Because me personally, I feel like it's about what is in the household. Even if it's one parent, if that one parent can take care of those children and give them something healthy, then other relationships that they're going to have, you're going to have other you're going to have other family members that are going to come in place and help and be a presence in a child's life. I think it's more important to have more than one person taking care of a child than it is to have this exact makeup of mom and dad in the household. And if it's not mom and dad, that means that it's broken. I just don't agree with that judgment, with that definition, how society looks at it. I don't agree with that.
That the family is blended. So blended.
So blended means broken.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So the guy that you were entertaining,
Mhm.
you would go as low as 26.
That I would entertain?
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
And as high as what age?
Whatever man that doesn't have kids.
As high as
Whoever doesn't have kids, whatever age he is with no kids.
I just.
No, that's the age. I'm saying I don't have an age range as far as how old if he has no kids.
So your
he's a candidate.
non-negotiable is a person who does not have children.
My non-negotiable is a person with kids, but yes, I get how you're saying it. Yes.
So you cannot date a person. You cannot be with a person.
I can, but I'm choosing not to.
So
I can be with anyone, but I'm choosing not to.
You're.
I gotta correct it. It's my narrative, Cam.
You're
I
like
can,
jumping in, jumping out. It's either.
Cam. No, it's not. I can't. There's no such thing. I can date whoever I want. I am definitely well equipped to do so.
Okay.
So I'm not going to allow that word to be something that fits what I can't do. I'm well equipped to date anybody.
Yes.
My preference,
Yes.
because there's nothing wrong with a lot of men who have kids. So I don't want to put that narrative out there.
Yes.
My personal preference is I would not choose to date a man with kids.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're dating a man with kids.
No. What did you
Just a
not
scenario.
hear?
Okay, got it. Yes.
You're dating a man with kids.
Yes.
So you've identified that that's a broken home from the jump.
Yes,
with your
based on her definition,
verbiage
yes,
of
that is what
blended
she
family
said.
means broken.
I've identified that I'm dating a broken man who is creating who he is, because we could teach what we know, we create who we are. And so broken people create brokenness, whether it's through a child, whether it's through a relationship, whether it's through themselves.
She just called him broken, y'all. That was what that was. That's why the scratch on us, the scratch was getting.
Doesn't have to be a beautiful baby, but you're creating brokenness. And broken people can come from married households. I'm not saying that a two-parent household can't create the result of a child who then has brokenness and creates broken blended families everywhere.
Hello?
I'm not negating that.
Hello?
No, I know I'm making that point.
But
yes.
But my point.
Yeah, you don't like that
my
point is
answer
saying
is
you're
I not
broken.
only identify that those homes are houses without a home because he's not in them,
Yeah.
but also that he's a broken man.
But you're going to be with a broken man.
No, I won't. I just said I wouldn't be with a man. I wouldn't be with a
See,
broken
how you
man
gonna
who
give
has
me-
multiple kids.
How you gonna give me just a scenario and then try to make it seem as if I would actually make that decision? No, I just told you I'm not gonna be with a man who has children. That's my preference. You asked if I was. Okay? Like
I will
what?
take
No, not multiple. I'm
well,
talking.
a kid. It
So
doesn't matter.
you're
I don't
not
wanna-
going to date a man with children.
No, but let me clear.
Do you know why he keeps saying that? He wants it to be clarified for the slow niggas that's watching his podcast. He really wants the men. This is dog whistling to all you niggas that are gonna get y'all feelings hurt when y'all find out that it don't matter how much money y'all have. She will not date y'all if y'all have children. Whenever men find out there's a woman out there that they can't have access to, a lot of them lose their damn minds. And I feel like that's exactly what he was doing. He is sending the people that watch this podcast after this woman. Oh, what's wrong with a man with kids? Why, you think you too good? That's how that's gonna go. Except, you know, instead of just recognizing the fact that people have their preferences. Their preferences may come from an asshole place, yeah, but that's still her choice, no matter. And I don't feel like it comes from an asshole place. I feel like it comes from her logic. Like, my logic tells me that if I want what I want out of the relationship, a man with children and prior women in his life, that is not going to give what it's supposed to give.
This up because you said I won't date a broken man. That's not what I said.
No, I said, are you listen to what I'm saying?
I heard you. Let me answer it. Hold on. We all have a level of brokenness. So will I date a broken man? Yes. Am I going to date a certain type of brokenness? No.
Of course you're not.
And that type of brokenness is a man who has kids outside of me isn't something that's conducive for what I want forever.
But will you date him?
No.
So that goes to my point. I'm trying to ask a question. You have two different men right
She
here.
answered it
One
already.
man who has.
I will not date a man with kids.
Okay, that's all I'm asking.
Yes.
She answered
But
that
do you
several times.
understand?
What's wrong with you?
Just off of the statistics.
Here we go. Go ahead and be a statistic and say it because I hear it all the time. And it
What?
Doesn't
Say it.
matter.
You say what you're saying, and I'm going to either
based on
agree
statistics, most men have kids. Go for it.
at your age.
But that's why I said early on, Cam, when you said young and remember the patience of me being older woman, I said, well, for, you know, a woman who has certain qualifications or criterions like no kids,
Yeah.
that would be, I have to have enough brain cells to know, baby, that's the payoff. Okay, he may be younger, successful, no kids, but now you have to make sure you implement the patience. Or you get you an older man who has kids and he could have been married with his kids. There's a lot of different scenarios why men have kids, okay? But then you don't have to have as much patience with him as maturity-wise. But do you want to have patience to say, and it's not even dealing with, because that's not bad. You want to have enough patience to gut the fact that you are dating a man with young kids or grown kids, and that's against what you want, your value system. For me, I rather choose the poison of, I'll have patience with you, baby. We'll just have to figure this out, and I'm cool with that, and we'll have a good time in the meantime.
And I do feel like this is a trauma response, but I agree with her choice. That's what she wants for herself. You can't get mad about what people want for themselves as it pertains to their relationships. You got to grow out of that.
Then I know that you have kids. It's against something I never wanted as a child. And now if you have young kids, I'm going to be very involved because I'm a loving woman. I'm never going to take
But you're giving a scenario that you're saying.
that I wouldn't do.
Yeah,
Right. And those are the reasons why I wouldn't do them.
for sure.
Because I'm going to be involved, right? I'm never going to be a woman who's not.
But I must defend this situation.
Your own.
I have 8 children.
Mhm.
And
8 beautiful babies. I'm
I
sure.
will not. No baby mother of mine could ever say that she's a single mother, because single mother insinuates that she has no help. So for me in my situation,
It may insinuate it, but single mother means a woman that has children that is not married. And we won't talk about definitions, but I do understand. But a single mother just means she is singular. You're a single father. It doesn't mean that y'all don't take care of y'all kids. That doesn't mean that she's not getting help from the father. It just means she's not married to him. That's all that means, Cam.
life be lifing. That's a common.
Yeah, it does. I agree.
And my situation is a product of life happening.
Mhm.
So
And none of us are exempt from it.
of course.
Right,
So we
right.
have preferences. We
100%.
have things that we could say, okay, I would love to do this. I'm
Right.
raised in a church. So my father would always direct us to say, hey, be this, be that, be that, be this.
Right.
But I can also tell my father this, your reality
Mhm.
is not my reality.
100%.
You walking into 7-Eleven is different than your son walking into 7.
Okay, so you basically saying because you get so much coochie thrown at you, your reality is not your father's reality. His reality didn't have as much coochie being thrown at him, so he didn't value his singleness the way you value yours. He valued marriage more because he didn't have as many options. You have more options, which means you can choose differently based on the fact that you have more options. Is that what you're saying, Cam? He's an idiot. Oh my God.
7-Eleven.
Sorry.
Makes sense to you. So I can't agree with you, and we can agree to disagree, that I'm not creating broken homes. I'm doing the best with the situation that I was given and am given. So
What does that mean? The situation that I am given, it completely takes all responsibility away from you for creating these children, right? Puts the onus on the woman for keeping them. And that's what a lot of y'all like to do. But then you also judge women for either keeping the kids, because why would you keep kids with a man that's not going to take care of them? Because they're my fucking kids, bitch. Because I have to physically go through the trauma of whatever it means to take care of them or not have them. And my choice is my body. And at the end of the day, the agreement happened when we both had unprotected sex together. That was where the original moment where we both were making a decision that would have an outcome happened. Okay. My outcome is I can either get rid of it or keep it. That's my responsibility. Your responsibility, once it's in my body, is I'm either going to take care of it or I'm going to be a deadbeat. Those are your options. Those are your options. Y'all get mad at women for choosing to keep kids, and I want y'all to stop doing that. Women to me are supposed to have children. If they have children, they're supposed to have children. And when I say that, I mean like just naturally, women are out here having children. That's just what's happening. Okay. If you want to be a man out here having sex with women and you don't want to have children, go get snipped. Wear birth control. There are a whole bunch of ways to keep from having children out here. But you don't really go and try any of those things. But you will always put the responsibility on the woman because she didn't want to go through the trauma of going and lay on somebody's table after she'd already laid down and let you shoot off in her club. Yeah, no.
Hands-on father? Absolutely. I don't subscribe to just bringing fatherless children or motherless children into this world. I have an unbelievable relationship with the mothers of my children. And
sure.
it's
You wouldn't even
healthy
let the last one keep a
co-parenting
damn
that
car.
we show the children real love, real communication, real orders of operations. And I think that's key.
I bet you that lady got to take all of his baby mamas probably have to take a lot of deep breaths when they deal with him.
Because even though we have this unspoken societal pressure to do this and be this, but that's a unicorn that you're waiting for. Because if I'm sitting up here telling you like, yo, I have aspirations to have this, but my experiences have shown me that.
Isn't it funny how men are always telling women what's impossible for them to find, but the men feel like they can go out and find, anything they want, they can materialize and make? Ain't that some shit? Y'all, that's the patriarchy for you. Women can actually physically create things from their bodies, right? To create creativity is considered a feminine trait. Okay? And men will actually sit in front of your face as a woman and tell you that they can create life out of another woman. But you can't go and find you a man that will fit your criteria.
That person really doesn't exist. So when I'm asking or asked questions of, is the expectations unrealistic?
Right.
Because my reality has garnered unbelievable connections with women around the world. Not in Africa, I haven't been in Africa, right? But at the same time, I've been able to make the best of my situation. And I can't say that situation ever resulted in.
I bet you haven't gone to Africa because you feel like I don't want to fuck any of the women in Africa because you have a probably Eurocentric, internalized racism mindset about the women you want to be in relationships with. And so you will probably never really go to Africa to procure a woman, which is why you did not go there. I'm sure you've gone to places where you might want to fuck the women. And that's probably the number one criteria outside of traveling there for work.
Into a broken home.
Got it. So this is my thing. You can label it whatever your her ego needs it to be labeled so that you feel good about your choices. But at the end of the day, a family consists of a dynamic, and that dynamic consists of two parents and a child. And when you start to create that multiple times, that's called a blended family. And when there's somebody missing from the home, but they are the school daddy, meaning I pick them up or drop them off to school, or they are the sports mother or father, I come to the games, but they're not I wake up and go to sleep with my kids. That household now is broken by the family dynamic. That does not mean, Cam.
You're not describing me.
That does not mean, Cam, that.
Yes, she is. The week off for you when your kids are with their moms and it's just you and Jazzy in the house. Yeah, that's what she's talking about.
You are not a dynamic father. That does not mean that you don't have a great relationship with him. I'm talking about the political construct of a family.
Societal construct, political construct.
If you want to, that's what I'm saying. If you want to call it that, that's fine. But listen,
those things that you
whatever we label
express,
it doesn't change
I
our
do
decisions,
that,
though.
That's what I'm trying. That's what you don't understand.
So all of your baby mamas live in one house?
No, they do not. But my children stay with me.
So then it's still a broken house. So the mothers aren't in your home. So it doesn't make a difference.
That's making the best of the situation.
Right.
It doesn't.
Listen,
but she's
and let me say
saying
this.
that doesn't change anything. That doesn't change that it's broken. And to me, I feel like it's broken because the father is broken. And so if the father is broken, so are the kids. Like, I hate to tell y'all that, but unless the mother can exercise the father, you know what I'm saying? And the child gets help and all of that. A lot of times children will be broken if their father is broken. That's why, a lot of people believe the children pay for the sins of the father, because it's literally a trickle down effect. Whatever you don't fix will hurt your children. And a lot of men don't like to think that there is anything that they need to fix. And so because you don't think there's anything wrong with you or that anything needs to be fixed, you will then handle your children in a way that disregards their boundaries, that disregards how they feel, because you will always feel like you know better no matter what. That's not always a good thing, y'all. That's not a good thing. It's just not. I feel like Cam displays in a lot of ways, even in the conversation he's having with this woman, he is displaying to me that he is not somebody that you can easily talk to. He does not listen. He will can you imagine with children? People don't even feel like children have the rights to tell you not to touch them, let alone in verbal disagreements or when you are unhappy with your father and how he's treated. Like, girl, it's not giving good father just because you are there.
That part,
that's not.
I agree with. That part, I admire in you.
Okay.
That part, I think is amazing.
Right.
Cam, look at me. That part, I say thank you for being a man who's vertical, who stood up and dealt with his decisions, whether it was decisions you liked or you didn't, or you planned or you didn't, and you.
Now, the moment where this woman has to come out of character from her position as a psychologist to have a conversation, and she has to validate this man's emotions so that he can stay in control of himself, if that is not a signifier that women are expected to do more emotional and mental lifting in relation to men most of the time, not all, but most, y'all. I know there are a lot of ain't shit bitches out there. Please do not get me wrong. But we are talking about what most of us on a generalized level have experienced, because most men are socialized a certain way. Most women are socialized a certain way.
You did what you had to do. That's called a man, baby. So thank you for being a man.
Yes, ma'am.
And doing your thing. Seriously. With the best that you have. I think that's amazing.
Right.
And I say this, follow up, not to negate everything I just said, because I truly believe that and feel that. And I love that you did that. You didn't leave them fatherless. My father didn't leave me fatherless. It changed my life because he didn't leave me fatherless. I used to sit with him randomly and say, Daddy, thank you. For what? For not making me a fatherless little girl. Because I ain't out here desperate. And I got a daddy I can come home and nest in. I got a daddy I can come home who's a gangster, a street dude. I can make a phone call and you there. And you there. So I ain't looking for no street, excuse my language, nigga, to save me. I got my savior. I'm good. And the street dude to save me may crucify me. I'm good. Daddy ain't gonna crucify me. See, there's a difference. So with you, I'm saying thank you, because my father has 6 of us by 5 different women, but he was a father. And so when you say, Doc, but I'm a daddy, don't negate that. I hear you more than you believe me hear you, because I had a daddy who was a father, and he wasn't in the house with all of us. But from a woman who was a little girl who had the best daddy I've seen a girl have straight up to this day. I'm not saying you ain't. That's my daddy. I wasn't in the house with him. So the things that whoever he was in the house with, that environment is different from me coming over and seeing it. Now, for you.
So right there, she is letting you know how not being in the household with her father affected her. It made her feel as if she was on the outside looking in, which is why she so desperately does not want a broken family, a blended family. She wants it to be her, the man, and whatever children they have. But she is 41 years old and time is going on. So I feel like in real life, Dr. Bryant has kept it a buck with herself, and she knows she may be a woman that never has children, and that might be all the better for her. Because I feel like on some level, even though I see a very nurturing woman, I still feel like on some level, when women really want to become mothers, they don't let the dynamic of what happens with a man dictate whether that's what they want for themselves or not. For some women, they really do want to have children, and they should not have children just because the man is not going to be a good father, in my opinion. I think y'all feel like women should not have children if the father is not going to be a good father, but I don't agree with that. I feel like if a woman wants to have children and she feels like she's capable, and she really is, she should. I've seen a lot of, y'all can say what y'all want to about some people, but for instance, I don't think that Erykah Badu's children are over there wanting for anything. That lady relationship, whatever, I don't care, nigga. This is my baby. I'm taking care of my baby. My babies are taken care of. And the men still are. I feel like a lot of the men we've seen, you know, they seem to be good fathers to the children that they have with Erykah. Erykah don't seem like she go lay up with just no any old nigga. But at the same time, this is a woman that has said, these are my children, and I'm not gonna not have them because me and this nigga not gonna stay together. Like, that's crazy. Okay, that's insane. Hold up, let me read some of these super chats and then we'll get back into it. Make sure y'all like the video, y'all, and subscribe. Hey, Cynthia. Thanks for the super chat, my love. Thanks for being honest about marriage. My sister said the same, and they've been married. Some still are, and they said it's the same as dating, just contractual. It just adds a layer of pressure onto the situation and the financial things, and you know how it's incentivized with the government and all of that. But the actual relationship between two people, it is what it's going to be, and I don't think marriage changes that. Gabby with an I, thank you for the super chat. You cannot possibly be an active father and think marriage is a bigger commitment than human life. You're a Pookie with money and a Mad Hatter fit. Girl, you listen, hold up, wait a goddamn minute. I look. That was a sprinkle. Thank you. Hey, Saltwater Daughter. Thank you for the super chat. Look at the look on his face. He can't even handle women who don't want him. And it's a dog whistle to the incels. Absolutely. Even though he spends a lot of his time telling the incels what they not gonna have. Hey, boo. Thank you, Lavish Beauty, for the super chat. Y'all, this is my girl. Sometimes kids benefit more from a parent leaving than staying in toxicity. Maybe he would have turned out different if his mom would have left, and he may not have been traumatized by witnessing his mom go through hell and back. I know that's right. Thank you, friend. And you are absolutely right about that. Okay? The fuck?
Your babies, they all live with you. Their environment is different from when they go with mommy, and mommy has whoever's in that house. So the roles have just switched, but it still makes not the kids, hear me out. It still makes the household dynamic is a blended, broken household. It doesn't mean that your babies have to grow up broken. This is what I want to be clear on. It doesn't mean that you as a father can't change their life. I beat the odds of being a baby mom.
And I want people to understand, referring to a blended family as a broken family, having that word onto it, calling it broken, adds a negative connotation to it. This is another thing. It does not matter how you actually meant it. What people feel when you say that they come from a broken home is that they come from something that is toxic. Say what you will. But to me, the toxicity is more of a break than one person not being there.
Mama, because I had a daddy that wasn't in the house, but he was in my life. He was in my ear. He was in my ass about decisions.
Oh,
I got my savior. I'm good. And the street dude to save me may crucify me. I'm good. Daddy ain't gonna crucify me. See, there's a difference. So with you, I'm saying thank you, because my father has 6 of us by 5 different women, but he was a father. And so when you say, Doc, but I'm a daddy, don't negate that. I hear you more than you believe me hear you, because I had a daddy who was a father. And he wasn't in the house with all of us, but from a woman who was a little girl who had the best daddy I've seen a girl have straight up to this day. Am I saying you ain't? That's my daddy. I wasn't in the house with him. So the things that whoever he was in the house with, that environment is different from me coming over and seeing it. Now, for your babies, they all live with you. Their environment is different from when they go with mommy, and mommy has whoever's in that house. So the roles have just switched, but it still makes not the kids. Hear me out. It still makes the household dynamic is a blended, broken household. It doesn't mean that your babies have to grow up broken. This is what I want to be clear on. It doesn't mean that you as a father can't change their life. Listen, I beat the odds of being a baby mama because I had a daddy that wasn't in the house, but he was in my life. He was in my ear. He was in my ass about decisions. So this is why I'm saying the household, baby, is still broken, but it doesn't mean your kids have to be. But it's about coming into awareness of what really is. And like my father knew, he had blended families, broken homes, but he tried to overcompensate, and he did in every way he could by being a daddy. So that's all I'm saying is we can label it what we want, but the reality is this is what a blended family looks like, unless you're telling me it's polyamorous, and you're not. This is what a broken household looks like. Now, let me go further. Do broken households make for good people? You damn right. I'm not a statistic. I ain't perfect. I work through my stuff. I come from the inner city.
Then why continue to call something broken when you can find another word that does not add negative connotation onto it? That's what I want everybody. And also, please think outside of this. And then I'm using this for historical context so that you can understand that there was something before the nuclear family shit that you know that is only about 50, 60 years old. Okay? Prior to the nuclear family ideal, it was not just about having a mother and a father and children. It was about a tribal situation. So think pre-colonialism, pre-white daddy, okay? Pre-white master. You had tribes. In your tribe, people would have children, but the women were responsible for the children altogether. All of the women in the tribe were responsible for the children, the younger children. When the boys would age up to a certain extent, they would go and be with the men. The men were all together. And yes, there might be a hut where these two people are together and this is their hut, but essentially, this is a community. This is a tribe. The men take responsibility for the boys. The women take responsibility for the young children and the girls. Okay? In dynamics like that, you don't put all the pressure on just two people to handle the children. You also don't have this concept that because a man is not always there, that something is broken. You see what I'm saying? There is a tribe, so that means there's a whole bunch of mothers. There's a whole bunch of fathers. So your one not being there does not actually mean for broken. Girl, sometimes you can't have deep conversations with people because they love to stay on the surface of something. Like they really love to stay on the surface of something. I am telling you that the word broken has a negative connotation to it. There are other ways to explain what happens when people separate and no longer stay in the same household. The only reason you are viewing something as broken is because you feel like the only way it can be whole as if it is the three: mom, dad, child, because you feel like that's genetically how that happens, that in the society, if it's not like this, it's broken. When essentially, no. Women have children. The women raise the children together. The men raise the boys together as they get older. This dynamic means that even though genetically two people created this one child, if one of them is not there, nothing is broken because they have a whole bunch of other mothers and fathers to help. So nobody is actually losing anything. So I'm trying to explain to you that the concept of a broken family, simply because one person is not there, comes from colonialism. It is a socialization. It's not real. Your perception of it adds a negative connotation onto it. And since you want to be stupid and act like I'm not being very clear, I will block you. I told y'all be respectful, but respectful also means don't be in my comments saying the same shit over and over again because you don't want to agree with what I'm saying, even though what I am telling you is to think outside of what you understand it to be. Just think a little broader sometimes. That's all. Stop ignoring what I'm saying so you can continue your point in my comments. You can have your opinion, but I think at that point you're being a troll.
The hood, I'm a product of teenage parents, a dope dealer and an addict who is now sober and killing it. My mom was a VP of my company, runs everything, got her own business, and I'm a doctor. So people like me come from situations like that. So I'm always advocate for it, but I'm always keep it real about what it is. Because in order for us to take it and heal it and do something with it, we got to call a damn duck a duck so we know where to put it, what to feed it, how to do it, and what it needs. We can't be in this society as Black people and want to give things different words so that it makes us feel better about our decision. The decision is made. It is a broken home. It is a blended family. And now what are we going to do with these beautiful babies? So that your son, you got boys? I'm guessing out of 8, you got to have some boys. So that your boys make different and better decisions than daddy did. Not that you didn't do the best of what you had.
Okay, y'all want to do this? Let's do this then. You aren't making sense. Am I not? Do I need to say this again slowly? Do I need to say it again slowly, or would you like to rewind it so that you can hear it again? Because I feel like I'm making perfect sense. Maybe you are a psych nurse practitioner and you are still colonialized in your mindset, so you cannot think outside of a box. It doesn't mean you aren't book smart. It means you can't think any bigger than the box you put things in. That's all. That's all. That's all. And I feel like everybody that's like, we can agree to disagree. I feel like y'all are not even disagreeing with me, because at the end of the day, you're saying that something is broken. And I'm telling you, think outside of that. I understand what you're saying. I'm not misunderstanding it, sweetheart. Think outside of that. Okay. Because see, at one point, it wasn't a nuclear family. Look it up. You can Google it. This is something recent. Before that, we had tribal communities because nobody knew who the father was a lot of the time, because women just had sex. They didn't even know sometimes how they were going to get pregnant, if they would, because they would have sex and wouldn't have babies. So sometimes they would not know who the father was. They would have men in the community that were supposed to be fathers because of the actual attributes they had as a man. They fit the actual description of what was needed to lead. Y'all think having strong sperm means that somebody should be leading a family. And I'm telling y'all that was not always the case, because DNA is recent. DNA is recent. Which means at some point, this whole thing about mom, dad, baby was not really a thing, because nobody knew who the daddy was all the time. My God. People be nurses, but don't know that what they practice is recent. It's recent, girl. The nuclear home is recent. You think something is broken based on the definition of what you think a family is supposed to be. I'm telling you, in real life, your family is your grandmama, your granddaddy, your aunt, your aunts, your uncles, your mama's friends, the people that help you with a child. And there are people who know that their dad isn't there and they don't feel broken because they know he ain't shit. I know that's a lot of y'all can't get that. But a lot of people know. I know who my daddy is. I know that nigga ain't shit. And I know if he was in the household with us, it would be worse. I don't feel broken because he's not here. I actually feel more at peace because he's not here. And y'all also don't call broken families when somebody dies. When a woman is a widow and raising her children, y'all do not call that shit a broken home, even though technically that's what it is. But y'all never describe it that way because it has social connotations on it. And the social connotations are to guilt and shame people into staying in unhealthy relationships for the kids. Don't be broken. Stay together for the kids. When at the end of the day, what we are telling y'all is people staying together does not mean that the kids are okay. The kids do not be okay.
But so your boys can say, Daddy, I admire you, but I did it different. Daddy,
I hope that was
thank you
slow
for not
enough
letting me be
for
fatherless, but I did it different. Your daughter can say, Daddy, I only married him and got all 5 kids with just one because 2 things, you was in my life, and because I didn't have to choose from despair, and because I love you, but I didn't want to have 3 or 4 or 5 kids by multiple men. So I chose different than you. But watch this. But he has these similarities about you that I love. He's loving. He won't leave me hanging. He's stable. He got my back. Because that's what I love about you. But your choices is what I didn't choose in this man. And that's okay. I don't choose my father in men who have the multiple kids. But I choose my daddy in men who are solid, and who got my back, and who love me unconditionally, and who dote on me, and still treat me like his baby at 41. That's all I'm saying. So you're doing a hell of a job. Thank you. But the situation is what it is. It's the reality of it.
I can talk.
Yes.
Okay. Whew.
But I will say, I still feel like he's creating broken homes. I want y'all to understand that. I do feel like that. But I feel like I said, that's because he's broken, y'all. And it doesn't matter whether he has the kids 1 week on or 1 week off. He's still a broken nigga in the house with them, with a girl with a broken booty hole. Coming from a 2-parent household with a mama that went through hell. Like, I'm telling y'all to just get out of these socialized ideals of what you think marriage, family, relationships, all of that is supposed to look like, because there is no example of that actually fits the criteria to a T.
Now, we're going to press the space bar with that real quick, and we have to get to our game.
We have a game?
Oh, you don't play games?
I do.
Oh, okay.
I love games. I'm excited. I was excited.
I'm pretty sure 26 don't come with a lot of games.
Yeah,
but needless to say, let's play a game.
Let's go.
With Dr. Bryant. You hear other people's emotions. Let's learn about yours. In a game we like to call Inside Out with Dr. Bryant.
I love it. Let's go.
The movie Inside Out plays on the tropes of 5 different core emotions. You seen Inside Out?
I haven't. I need to.
You don't got kids, so. Using this idea as a reference, giving us 5 things that cause a deep joy, anger, sadness, fear, and disgust. Right? You understand?
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you a word, and you're going to give me an example of what triggers these.
Ooh, this is good. Okay, I'm gonna have to use this with my clients. Can I feel it? Can I use it? This is.
It's something that's so pendant, and I look. I'm trying to be so obedient and functioning high value or high functioning by just stopping and saying, oh, I can't. Woosah. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
The first word is emotions.
Love and healthy.
The next word is joy.
My family, my brother, Shane, my mom, my nieces and nephews.
Next word, anger.
I can't say the word that came to my mind, but I'm a code switch.
No, keep it funky.
I got a code switch again.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Oh,
see, you promised to keep it funky, all funky. So help you God. Why you keep reciting all these biblical versions and all these different?
Yeah, it ain't metabiblical about what I thought. Okay, say the word again and I'll say it. Say the word again.
Well, like they say in church, let them use you.
Woo.
She repeatedly laughs off him coming at her real hard. He was just coming at her like, what are you talking? You use all these. What are you talking about?
So the word is, as you heard, you're so intellectual for you not to listen.
I can't code switch it. Damn, go ahead.
Anger.
F-U-C-K. Negroes. That's what comes with it.
F-U-C-K, fuck, nigga, free. Yes.
That's what comes to mind.
Is he okay? Is he okay? Because he don't look okay.
Yeah. About that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We got to break those generational curses, man. Yeah.
Okay.
Listen.
Let's go. All right, here we go. Next word is sadness.
God, that didn't resonate with me. It should take me longer to get there.
Very.
Sadness.
Very diva.
I'm stuck.
Very.
No, impossible.
No, I'm let me take
Stuck. No.
What's the sadness? I'd have to go with my father and grandmother's recent death. That would go with grief for me.
Yeah.
Grief, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next word is fear.
Fearless comes up for me. Bring it. Whatever it is, let's go.
But that's deflecting.
Yeah, but I'm not a fear person. So
that's not deflecting. That's not deflecting. Like y'all, him wanting her to be in the space that he wants her to be in, him wanting her to answer questions the way he wants her to answer questions. I don't know if y'all have peeped this. You know who hurt Cam? I think Cam's dad and mom hurt him. His 2-parent household. I think watching them go to hell is what hurt Cam.
Fear of, fear of creating a broken home for my babies. I don't want that. If I had to choose a fear, creating a broken home for my babies,
Okay.
I waited.
Wait a minute. Lord have mercy.
Ain't no hole in my blood. Ain't no hole in my blood. Ain't no hole in my blood. No.
Ain't no hole in her blood. Do you hear me? He was pressing her. And so she went for her actual fear that triggers him. Double whammy. Bow, bow.
Too long.
Oh,
Last
shit.
word.
She's
Oh,
good.
shit.
She's
Disgust.
really good.
A nasty, abusive, narcissist personality, attitude.
You.
with
I'm disgusted
no
with
intent
you.
but to bleed and spill their pain onto other people. Disgusting.
You.
There you have it.
Yeah.
But can I go back to something real quick?
Yeah, of course, of course.
With your prognosis, Doc, of my situation, would you consider me a high value man?
High valued or
Why
high
are we
functioning?
back here?
High value
Why are we
and high
back
function.
here?
High valued, yes. I think that you are. Wait. Hold on.
You
value's
got my
different than function.
undivided
Okay.
attention.
High
So-
valued, yes.
Okay.
Because obviously you have the value,
Okay.
right?
Boom.
High functioning, I believe that you are a hybrid. I think that you are in the journey, in the process of still becoming. I think that you have more low functioning behaviors. Seriously. And I think that your thoughts and emotions, when you're allowing yourself to really be you, not Cam Newton I'm on, not Cam on the field, whatever this personality you've created. I think your thoughts and emotions are high functioning when you're being the core of the essence of who you are. And I damn, I'm just gonna be obedient. And I believe and hope that
Please.
your
speak
babies,
free.
especially your boys, they let more of that part of you that's in them shine and lead. Then not the decision making, I'm not saying, then the part that has nothing to do with decision making, then the part of that has been masked or the part that entertains. I hope that they can, because for them, for their benefit, they can dwell in who they are, which is that part of the high functioning and that loving and that vulnerable piece that you do have that I've seen, just sitting here with you. That part's beautiful. And I think you should let that be out more. Why you don't? I think that goes in with your fear, but that's a whole nother
That goes in
segment.
with
Go
who?
ahead. That goes in with your whole fear of divorce and all this other stuff, but that's a whole nother, that'd be a session we do one-on-one. Whole nother
Yeah,
session.
but those are also life experiences though. See, this is where I was holding back from your critique on broken and
was holding back.
blended. So basically any man, you're fucked if you're trying to get
Well, dang, just
Dr. Shah-
take their hope from them.
No, it's you said that.
I didn't say they're
You said
fucked.
there's no chance.
I didn't say no chance.
There's no chance.
Okay.
Your words, not mine. That
Okay.
you would ever get with the guy that had children. So the reality of
Going right
of-
back
of
to the
that
same
is
shit.
like life happens, situations happen, and I would ascribe to this narrative: do the best you possibly can.
Why is he trying to change what she wants for herself? Do you hear y'all? He's not in a relationship with this woman. He is merely interviewing her on his podcast, and he is trying to get her to change what she wants for herself. Can you imagine what it's like to be in a relationship or to actually be the child of a man that will try at every turn to change what somebody else wants for themselves? Can we then see how Jazzy would go from somebody that seemingly wanted a career for herself to somebody that wants to be cooking and cleaning and serving with a sore booty hole for a man that's going to financially abuse her? Like, girl, how do you end up having something that you did not want for yourself? Is by dealing with a man like this, that at every turn, all he wants to do is change your mind so that he can get what he wants to get out of you. That is exhausting.
Absolutely.
In this thing that we call life.
100%.
Because it's tough, it's hard. I'm a father to my children, not because of me being able to pay for private schools. I'm a father to my children because I treat them not only how society is going to treat them, I give them the wisdom not only did my father give me, but I also...
He treats them how society is going to treat them. Do you hear that? Let me tell y'all something. Whenever men or anybody feels like as a parent, they're supposed to be treating their child like a stranger on the street, it means that they view the discipline, they view the telling them no, they view giving them hard lessons as more valuable than being emotionally safe for them. I'm telling you, him saying that absolutely let me know that he probably does not have a good relationship with those kids like that. Not for real. They're terrified of you. They're scared of you. They do what you tell them to do because you're their father and you take care of them, not because you're a great parent to them. Because you literally just said, I treat them the way the world is going to treat them. And we all know the world is going to eat you up and spit you out. You are supposed to create a safe space for your children so that they have a base to go back to when the world is doing that. I don't know why parents back in the day didn't get this lesson. The world is going to eat your kids up anyway. You don't do everything for them. You prepare them for the world, but you do create a safe space, a soft home for them so that they understand you can go out in the world and you can fight your dragons out in the world, but when you come home, this is a safe space. The only people y'all give that to is the men. When y'all want to be a safe space for men, because the world is going to treat them so bad. You understand this when it comes to men, but you don't understand it when it comes to actual children. That is insane.
Also give the nurturing that my family provided for me, doing the best. Now, my circumstances of growing up were
Right.
mom, dad, religion. I seen that.
Mm-hmm.
I just went down the other street that I was curious to find out. Like,
so you knowingly went down a different path from what your parents set out for you, is what you're saying. But somehow you think you're better than Dr. Bryant because she came from a household that was different or like the one you chose, basically.
most people.
Crazy.
And curiosity did what?
Kill the cat.
That cat.
Bought coochie.
That cat. Yeah. And,
Oh.
and that's the
Not
problem.
bought
Buying
coochie.
coochie and creating
It
babies
bought
and throwing
coochie.
D's instead of.
Did he say it bought coochie? Oh my God. Oh my God. This nigga's, oh my God. This is all I get. That's all I can imagine going on. That's all I can imagine. Like, oh my God, y'all, he is terrible.
Instead of creating F's, which is the family. We talked about that earlier. That's a problem. That is another dysfunction that needs to stop. That's not healthy. That's just
Jazzy, sweetheart. I'm sure you're good with being bought, correct? Okay. I'm just making sure.
dysfunctional.
We've identified
So
that.
curiosity killed the cat. So the cat got killed
Yeah. But
while trying to find some cat.
we've identified that. But what I'm basically saying is, even though we have hopes of having what we desire, it doesn't always.
I agree.
And that's
I agree.
my point.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree.
You know, so even though you may want marriage, even though you may want this unicorn ass nigga, you ain't gonna get him. So you might as well accept what I'm giving you because you ain't gonna get what you looking for. That's what he's saying. You might as well take what I'm giving because you ain't gonna get what you want because what you want is not real. So you might as well lower your expectations and take my abuse because you ain't gonna be able to find nobody better than me, nigga. I got money.
So
That's what you're talking about, right?
when
But I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you can finish. Want me to wait?
Now they really try to act like women don't enjoy their own company. I'm telling you, I know a lot. I've known a lot of women in my life that really enjoy being alone. Thank God for them.
Because it's for you.
So when you try to stereotype or you try to analyze a situation, and it's a lot of people's concern and curiosity.
Nobody stereotyped you. You are a stereotype. You know you're a stereotype. You chose to be a stereotype. Stop trying to act like somebody is adding negative connotation onto your life that you're not adding on to it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But the truth of the matter is, my father, who is still in my life, who is the most influential male in my life, and my mother also, I've seen that structure dynamic. And to the best of my ability, I will be able to give that to my children.
I believe you.
So,
yeah.
Your question.
How, Sway?
I believe you. You said life, and be doing this thing, of course, and none of us are exempt to what life does, so there's no point even personalizing it. It's just more about who's next for life. What is your outlook or your analysis on people who life has lifed with, but they just happen to make different decisions that breeded a more healthier result, even with the same things that life threw? Life threw this person a curveball. One person decided to step forward and get hit by it so they could take their walk to the first base. The other one stepped back and cracked the home run. And the other one just striked out. Same curveball, right? So to the person who hit the home run, do you call it, and I'm asking this, but it could be some other answer. Do you call it luck? Do you call it just a strong internal locus? Do you call them just a good decision maker? What do you say for that? Because we always talk about, you know, the people who doing the best they can with their life, the folks who've made these certain decisions, and where do we go from there? And that's okay. But what about the people who lifed, but they just happen to make better decisions? Not be a better person, just make better decisions. So life's results look very different for them, but they came from a place of struggle as well. What about that person?
That's a loaded question. I'm trying to answer.
Just answer it however you can think to answer it.
Yeah, but whether you took a hit, whether you striked out, whether you hit a home run or not, if you have another opportunity at bat, that's all that really matters.
What are you
going to do then? Because everybody who plays baseball don't always strike out. Everybody who plays baseball don't always get hit. It's damn sure everybody who plays baseball don't always hit home runs.
Absolutely.
So you have to carpe diem, seize the moment that you're in, or the situation that you're in. And no matter who it is.
So that means you better seize the opportunity of a rich nigga when you find one, girl. Because when a rich nigga put pressure on you, you'll end up pregnant on stage working.
I will not let you dictate what you think or you think or you, because
what you're doing and what you got going on.
Yeah, it's like the truth of the matter is like, yo, I know who I am. Yeah. I'm so comfortable in that. And it's so enlightening to hear these things from not just you, but just a lot of people, because it gives you different perspectives.
Right.
And at the absolute worst, we can agree to disagree.
100%, yeah.
So as I'm doing these type of things, as I'm really intrigued more like to talk, because as you went to school for your degree, I also got a degree in sociology, which also had me take psychology classes. Yeah. So instead of judging the stem or the branch of the tree, I'm forced to judge the foundation of the tree to really say, hold on.
That doesn't make any sense. You were trying to throw out the fact that you went to school as a way to act as if you're on level playing field with someone who got a doctorate in psychology. You think your psychology class makes you on level playing field with her, and now you can judge a root from a stem from a tree? Nigga, girl, where is Marceau? Where is Marceau in them? Because come get him. Come get him. He needs to learn how to use allegory better.
That goes all the way back to, you've experienced something that's making you act.
Associations to it, absolutely.
For sure. So that's how I believe. I love speaking, I love chatting. And one of the main things too that you talked about that you wanted to highlight is mental health.
Yeah.
I think as a culture, we have to normalize I'm not okay.
Yes.
We have to normalize or process emotions that may not be harmful to society, our environment, or most importantly to you. So let's talk about mental health for you and how you've used your platform to not only acknowledge, but to educate.
Yeah, no, I, like I said early on, my whole purpose of becoming a doctor and doing it on television platform and then podcast platform, like your amazing platform now, was to share my story of a little girl from the hood, and product of what I shared earlier. And so that people understand, to your point, that, whatever dirt or mud you came from, that's not the dirt or mud you got to plant in. And that, soil can be recreated and soil can be plowed up in what that looks like. And so also that saying you're not okay is actually 50% of you getting to the okay you're trying to get to. An awareness and accountability of saying, I'm in the dark, is letting someone know who can possibly help you get to the light switch to turn on the lights. And it's all about the lights turning on so that you take inventory of where you at, who you with, and who you are. And only then can you start to create when you can see.
Yeah.
Right. And so I just, to everyone in general, because mental health is a human right, it's not just a Black right. But specifically to the folks in our Black community, you know, we need to start to deliver, not dismiss each other. Not only in the therapy session, but on the podcast. We need to have an exchange that says, this is my subjective opinion, this is your subjective opinion. And any point in time that I feel, you know, Cam says something that I can deliver him from. And delivering doesn't mean I'm some know-it-all or an expert. Delivering means I admire you for being a father. You are amazing for taking the breadcrumbs and saying, let me go and make a loaf with this. So that in my perspective, I'm doing everything I can to fool this bread and not have these pieces spread around. So that's the delivery piece. Dismissal is, you know, because of your choices, you low functioning, you ain't nothing. That's dismissing. But delivery is, listen, your decisions created this. All right, so now what are we gonna do with that? And how can I be a part of helping do that with that? How can I be a part? I wanna be an extension of that. How can I help that mold into these beautiful things? So your babies could look back and be like, Daddy helped us do all this, and this is where I went different than him. Only because it made me better in this way. And that's okay, right? The other thing is, man, you know, depression and throwing around depression, throwing around these different mental health diagnoses. You can have symptoms of anything and not be it. And I think in our society, people get caught up in, I'm depressed or I'm having anxiety or I'm ADD or I feel these ways. We have down days that represent a lot of symptoms of depression. Doesn't mean that we are. However, if we are, then we need to be seeking help. Because again, we are creating us everywhere we go, in our relationships, with our kids, with our family. And if we even just want to say we care about our loved ones, getting help is something that helps them. And for parents out there, and I'm not a parent, but I'm with parents for the 17 years I've been doing it. I'm the oldest of 7. I didn't birth, but I parented, you know, all of my siblings. I know it's a big difference, mamas. I'm not taking that from y'all. Big difference. I'm putting that out there. I get it. But still, as a parent or folks who have little ones looking up to you, the best thing you can do for them is to get help and show them what help looks like and show them what asking for help looks like. And Black men, you know, I'm gonna say I, because I can speak for me, and I think I'm speaking for the collective, but we love y'all. We here, we got y'all back. We don't need you to do nothing but show up and let us know what it is that you do know, and please be okay with the things you don't know. And allow, if it ain't us, an ally. I don't care if the person don't look like us, to help you not get to where I want you to be, not get to where outside wants you to be, your parents, society, but to really help you figure out where and who you want to be. Because that person is who we love and that person is who we need you to be. And learn to evolve with each other, not just in relationship in the bed, but I want us to evolve with each other, Cam, sitting across 2 couches together, right? And I want you to create a safe space for me to be a woman who's made decisions that landed me in a place of not being a statistic and not taking that as a pun intended to you. You know what I mean? Or pun intended to someone else who was sitting here. But applaud me for...
She's literally asking of him what he could not give her, which was to make space for her without vitriol towards her because she made better decisions with her life and refuses to be a statistic like he did. And then don't take no offense to the fact that you're a fucking statistic, especially when you chose it. You said you chose a different path than what your parents let out for you. You chose it. You saw it and you sought it out. So you made a decision. That's what it is, baby.
Being a good decision maker and coming from a place where I could have took a whole different route, and me be able to sit here with you creating 8 beautiful babies and your homes and families and operating in a space from the best you can, and me complimenting that. So I think that's where the delivery comes in at is, I see you where you at. You see me where I'm at. It is totally different places, but doesn't mean that I can't take and learn from whatever you got going on and vice versa. And we make sure we expand together as folks.
Okay.
He's getting teary-eyed, y'all. I didn't want to say it.
No, by no stretch of the imagination. Not to say that, you know, I don't cry. I think I find myself, even to that point, crying and admitting to crying more about my children, right? I was, like, my father to me is my hero. To this day, right? And when I look at my children, I see that look in my sons to this day. And it's certain parenting tools that my father didn't do with me, but the point was pushed across the finish line that I want to give my children. That's not to say that my dad wasn't an amazing dad, which he is. There's certain things that as a son, I wish he would have did certain things different, but our parents aren't perfect.
Yeah, but that's all of us.
Do y'all hear? I don't know if y'all can hear, but it's a lot of like dick coddling going on here. She has to coddle him in order for him to hear her advice and believe in her expertise as a fucking doctor. And he has to let us know that in some ways he's a better parent than his father because his father failed him in some way. But oh no, he didn't really fail me. I don't want you to think that, but I did have to do some shit different from him because, you know, he might have damaged me. The fuck?
Just we aim to do different and better always.
So the thing that my children have taught me is unlocking emotions. And also, it's just not my children, it's my partner now. And she does an amazing job with identifying that. It's like, tell your daughter, Like, I'm making you better for your daughter. You doing what? Trust me, baby. It ain't no, come down. We not yelling. I'm not yelling, baby, but I just want you to feel me. Feel me. Yes.
So basically, you want every woman around you to be handling you like you a goddamn kid because you can't handle the fact that there are women around you that actually know better about how to deal with certain things than you do. You will talk about how great your mama is, but you, for some reason, don't see the value in women trying to help men handle their emotions better. You don't see the value in that. So women, I want y'all to see how he don't really see any value in that. Not really. He's saying he does because he's got to pick Jazzy up after he been stomping on her this whole fucking interview.
Kuda needs you. Kiri needs you. Tweet needs you. Like, these things is where it's a place of refuge, not a place of war.
Right.
So as I'm living, I'm not afraid to say, bro, I cried. Man, my sons make me proud. And even though my dad never verbalized that, I knew what he meant.
Right.
So now what's different is the patience that my children teach me without telling me, Pop, Dad, this is how I learn. Stop yelling at me or stop being soft on me. Tell me what I actually need to do, right? It's those things where it's like, man, we just have a beautiful moment. And I know my son, Tweet needs you. Like, these things is where it's a place of refuge, not a place of war.
Right.
So as I'm living, I'm not afraid to say, bro, I cried. Man, my sons make me proud. And even though my dad never verbalized that, I knew what he meant.
Right.
So now
Your dad never told you he was proud of you? Is that what you mean?
what's different is the patience that my children teach me without telling me, Pop, Dad, this is how I learn. Stop yelling at me or stop being soft on me. Tell me what I...
His kids have patience with him without telling him he needs to stop yelling at them and let them learn how they learn. But then he follows it up because now he was just speaking about probably what his kids actually tell him. Now he needs to clean it up and tell y'all what he wants his kids to tell him.
What I actually need to do, right? It's those things where it's like, man, we just have a beautiful moment.
What?
My dad never verbalized that, I knew what he meant.
Right.
So now what's different is the patience that my children teach me without telling me, Pop, Dad, this is how I learn. Stop yelling at me or stop being soft on me. Tell me what I actually need to do, right?
Stop yelling at me or stop being soft on me. Which one is it? That's contradictory, y'all. I don't know if y'all caught that. But this is him at first saying that, oh, my children teach me patience. But then he also vocalizes how his kids talk to him and say, stop yelling at me. This is how I learn. Then he says, or stop being soft on me. Tell me what I need to do. That's contradictory. That's contradictory. So to me, I feel like I'm listening to you tell us that you too hard on your kids. You don't listen to them. You want them to learn how you want them to learn. And when they don't, you probably yell at them. You probably don't hit them. So you feel like you're better than your dad because you don't actually physically hit them, but you yell at them, you demean them, you talk down on them, you make them feel stupid. And that's literally going to breed the same thing that you're trying not to be as a father. Because your sons are going to internalize all of that berating. The girls too. They'll internalize all of the berating, especially if they hear you talk down on the women in your life around them. They will internalize that too. Even though Jazzy is not their mother, they will internalize the way you speak to her if they hear you speak down to her. And for some reason, I think you speak down to her.
It's those things where it's like, man, we just have a beautiful moment. And I know my son, you know what I'm saying, love boba tea. It's like, yo, boom, let's go get some boba. Boba is right next to Papa John's. We go get a stuffed crust. Like, boom, that's our thing. But each one of my children is different. And it's a different emotion that comes out from me. And it encapsulates or embodies and allows me not to compartmentalize out of like, yo, you're compartmentalizing. It just allows me to
know each child.
Oh my God.
And serve them at their needs.
And that right there is, I'm the intrusive dad where
You're
I love you. Boy, come here, give me a hug. Like, go brush it. But you musty, boy. Going upstairs, like those. That's
so
how
you force intimacy.
I mean, even with my friends, even with my team, right? I can sometimes be too blunt.
Yeah.
And I'm learning, right? But
you aggravating. You annoy your kids.
Obviously, when we were talking about your intro, back in the day, it was like a badge of pride to say NAACP. You know what I'm saying?
Disgusted.
Black, when Martin Luther King and these activists were people who were so stoic, they believed in something, they stood for something, they spoke for the community. How can young individuals get a part of certain programs or certain things that push the culture forward in a healthy way?
I love that. Well,
I really hate the way they use the 60s as an example of how people should be, except for the fact that everybody was fucking faking and on their way to drinking and drugging themselves to death. But okay.
For one, they can become members, obviously, right? And you just go to NAACP.org and become a member, or go to our Instagram, NAACP1069. Also, you have, local branches you can be involved in. But at a higher level, what we need also, is to have a lot of the celebrities who tend to enjoy the NAACP Image Awards every year. They like to attend it. They like to be awarded by it. I think they need to contribute more to it. And when I say contribute, I'm not only talking about financially, because, we have that. We can always use more. But contribute in the sense of their presence. Even if they don't become a member, come through, put a program in their name, come through, put a camp, whether it's a baseball camp, a basketball camp, a football camp in the city of, I'm in LA, in the city of LA, and put your name on it. That brings kids. Your name also will bring funding. And so even if you don't do nothing but give your name, which is free, give your name, attach it to it, partnership with our NAACP, or get the funding behind it, run that camp, run that scholarship, run the golf tournament, with whatever that is. We create the whole thing. But I really believe that people who have not even so much money, but the name and the face and the status recognition, the way they can help is attaching themselves to our NAACP. And we have a lot of celebrities that are already attached to it. We got Denzel Washington, we got Viola Davis, we have big, even the baby did a lot of work with us 4 years ago with the Biden administration as far as campaigning. He was really amazing with that. But I'm saying that to say, other celebrities, reach out. I'm _ Dr. Bryant. You can Google me, reach out to us, or any other NAACP. We need to bring more of the community aspect back into the community so that we get the young.
That was an investment for whenever he gets arrested for something, he can call y'all for help.
Kiddos and the adolescents and the teenagers learning how to be okay in their blackness, and also learning career, socioeconomics literacy, learning what mental health really is. You have so many kids, adolescents, Cam, who are in the inner city, in the hood, who don't even know that they have mental health illness.
Yeah.
Then they become victims of crime when they're not victims of crime. They're victims of mental health. And so I wrote a whole resolution for NAACP nationally that's about mental health diversion in the courtroom. So you have someone come in and they commit a crime, and there's a mental illness attached to it that they haven't been diagnosed, that state has to pay for a psychologist to come in and assess them. And if they need to diagnose them, they divert their prison time to mental health diversion, to mental health treatment and help and assistance, so that we can help this kid recreate and reprogram who they are, their choices, their decisions, and we can stop the criminal recidivism rate, meaning going back to jail over and over again, and break that cycle, which is modern day slavery. And so we can take them back and say, look, we're gonna get you mental health,
But they don't really care about that. A lot of the black men like Cam, I think that they only pretend to really care about helping black people and helping everybody get a leg up. They only really like to use their blackness as a tool to use against people, but they don't really want to help for the betterment all the time. It doesn't feel like that. In all honesty, it kind of feels like, I had to pull myself up. Nigga, pull yourself up. That's the mentality I think a lot of them have, and they just don't. They know that that's not beneficial for them to actually act that way. But the fact that she's reading him down about being at the NAACP and getting awards, but never actually offering his aid, his name, anything simplistic, it gives a reading of his own character.
Resources, and put you in a place where you can make different decisions, because most of the time our babies are not criminals. They literally have mental health illness, or they're suffering from abandonment or attachment disorder or anxiety disorder or ADHD, or they're not ADHD. They just ain't got shit to do. You know what I mean? And they have a lot of energy, and there's a place they need to be able to put it. So those things for me are really important on just getting our young boys and girls and adult boys and girls to identify with what they got going on, so they can start to get the resource to help themselves get out of that. And so, yeah.
Listen, my last thing here is, you published a book titled Mental Detox, right? And I must say the whole title: The Power and Guidance to Implement Peace, Joy, Balance, and Financial Abundance in Your Life. What was that process of doing that? Are we looking out for another publishing from the Dr. Cheyenne?
What do you mean, the doctor? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this as if she's not really a doctor? Bro, this nigga is so disrespectful.
Cole, Bryant. Like, what's next?
Yeah, so my next book, the ABCs to Wellness, is a book about the tools from A through Z on what wellness is, what mental health is, how do you obtain it, and then how do you maintain it when you're there. And it takes you from A to Z to do that. Looking for it to be available September 2024, coming up really soon. My literary team is working on it now. Great team. And I gotta say this, shout out to my boy 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson, for literally coming in and believing in me and putting a whole literary team around me.
Yeah.
I mean, literally 50.
So she's backed by 50 Cent. That's another thing. All right. So I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna leave y'all.
Everything. What does that mean? Like packing his bag, unpacking his bag, just making sure all.
Oh. Sorry, y'all. My shit started tripping. Hold up. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. I don't know what the hell just happened. Hold up. Blah. Hold up.
What does a submissive woman do for her
Okay.
man?
Everything.
What does that mean?
You know, like packing his bag,
Unpacking his bag.
just making sure all the things that he wants, and like I pretty much read his mind. So it's like, if I know you and I study you, like I know how you are in the morning, I know how you are about midday, I know when you're in this mood what you need. Like before you can ever ask me for something, I'm already on it. I mean, he's spoiled. And you know, when I talk to my girlfriends about it, I was like, oh, how are you guys doing? And I'm just like, girl, he's rotten. I'm like, he's spoiled rotten. Like he's rotten. But I love that. Like I want him to be there. I think my biggest flex is how I treat my man. And I've been known to love people back to health. And sometimes it's very draining, but my love is my superpower. And I used to hate that about myself. But now it's like, I'm just embracing it. Like that's who I am. Like if I love you, I can heal you.
It's your joy.
It is my joy. You know, I love to see him eating the meal that I cooked. I love seeing him sleep easy every night, like clockwork. I scratch this man's back to sleep. And I know when he's asleep because I can tell when his breathing changes. And some people might think that's psychotic, but that's like, I just know that's when I'm like, oh, I can stop now. But I find joy in being your rest, you know? So know what that means. And that works for us because he wants what I have to offer.
What are you getting from all that you're giving? What
Girl,
are
hold
you
up.
asking?
I want to find, y'all give me 1 second because I want to find a clip of her talking about her butt. I really do. Can y'all just give me 1 second before y'all go? Okay, I'm gonna put this video up. Just give me 1 second. Don't go nowhere. I'm about to play this last clip. Okay, hold up. Let me find it.
Anywhere you go, give it all. Anywhere you said, anywhere.
Because I'm doing shit I never did before. I'm just like, I would have never done this, but you know what? I'm comfortable with this person and I feel safe.
It's the audio.
Example.
Anal. You're like, have an example? Yeah, that.
Do you do it for you or do you do it for them?
I do it for him because for me, I'm not at a place where I like it yet. We had one successful time where I was like, okay, you know, my butt creamed. It was like, oh shit, like it was like creaming. I don't know what the fuck that was, but it was like, it was weird.
Yeah, I don't know the science of that in particular because
Yeah.
your butt doesn't lubricate in that way. You could shit
So
on the
it
person.
was booty juice. It
could-
wasn't though.
It was his cum. Are you okay?
It was clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fast. I'll have to get back to you on that. But then does anal become an act of submission because you're letting your partner do something to you that doesn't necessarily feel good for you, but you know that it feels good and maybe powerful for them?
I think it feels more powerful for them than it feels good because you're getting nowhere. It hurts. It's like, okay, like if he wants
But
to,
he can still orgasm from it.
I think it's just the butt is just so tight and so untouched. And I think it's the fact that nobody's been in there but him is like the power of that. Like that's my asshole. Like ain't nobody been in that shit but me. That shit's mine.
Do you get pleasure because you're giving him an experience?
No, I actually like a finger in the butt.
No, from like anal in particular.
Oh,
Like what's the incentive for you to do it if you're like, it's not my favorite thing, but I do it because X?
I think I just do it because he wants it. And I think like when you come to me in a space where it's like you're very masculine and it's just like give me that ass or however you say it to me and you're like, ooh, like I like that shit. Like tell me what the fuck to do. Tell me what to do. I like to be told what to do. You know what
Even
I mean?
if the thing that they want you to do,
I don't want to do it. Yeah. That's traumatic too. I don't know, but like because it's him, I trust him.
I guess because we have all these like, and I hear when you're talking to like
Well, with that, I'm going to read you guys super chats and I'm going to go. Erica was in my chat today, girl. I love me some Erica De Niro. Y'all get into it. Thank you for all of the super chats, Erica. It's male-centered to believe that a man makes a home complete. It's not broken. The nuclear family is proven detrimental for women and kids. Girl, they don't want to hear it. Please be clear. White people aren't having a different experience relating to family dynamics than non-white people. They're not. Thank you, Lavish Beauty, for the super chat. When I think of a blended family, I think of a mended family. A blended family is people coming together and merging their families together, not broken. Exactly. Which is why I said her putting those words together is problematic. Hey, DeQuasia, thank you for the super sticker, love. Thank you. Mary Spark was like, whoa, thank you for being a member for 32 months. Cam Newton elicits disgust. Thanks for keeping it real, BB. Nobody messes with the champ. Feeling myself as I start class today. So yeah, go ahead, girl. Get into it. Thank you for the super sticker. Erica with another one. He wants her to lower her standards to qualify him. Exactly. It's disgusting. Like, get a fucking life. Miko, thank you for the super, for being a member for 13 months. How you say, Bondi, keep them barefoot and pregnant so they can't run off. They can't run off and join broken homes and in-house punani. Okay, an in-house punani. I know that's right. Crystal Brewer, thank you for being a member for 61 months. Having a preacher parent is growing up in a broken home. The preacher is normally the least available to the family. His structure is broken. Okay. Charlene Hoskins, thank you for the super chat. They tell us to choose better and take accountability. Then when we do that by being selective, they tell us that man doesn't exist and try to coerce us to settle. Where they do that at? Girl, apparently everywhere. It's exhausting. Thank you for becoming a member of my channel as well. Thank you. Najee Bishop, thank you for being a member for 12 months. Listen, at this point, if Jazzy wants to be, in the words of Erica De Niro, a mattress made in a mule, but I'm going to add one more, a mommy, that's on her. It is, girl. We just want everybody to recognize that the way they are promoting this shit is not realistic. Mary Sparkle's like, well, thank you for the super chat. The fact that she has to acquiesce to so heavily for men to acknowledge and listen to what she has to say tells me that her environment with her father wasn't as well adjusted as she would have us think. I agree. Gabby with an eye, thank you for another one. A submissive woman suffers. So rewarding. Doc Prime, thank you for the super chat. So she just sat there and let the whole wide world know she's a fool. Pretty much. Pretty much. Well, I love y'all. I hope Erica De Niro is putting something out for me to watch now, because I'm about to go and get myself together so I can work out. And I will definitely try to come back to y'all either later today or y'all will get a members only tomorrow. But either way, I will be seeing y'all later. So thank you so much, everybody, for coming through. I appreciate y'all. 1,600 people in the room. Make sure y'all like the video replay gang. Thank you so much. Share the video. I will see y'all in the next one.